Tonight's headlines: House leaderships undergo revamp. Labor Department mulls subsidizing 13-month pay. Skyway Stage 3 to open before end of 2020. Coronavirus cases in the country now at 346,536. One seat apart rule is not easing off distancing protocol. Ofel seen to bring rains over Bicol. PSE index ends flat. And Peso extends losing streak. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, October 14, 2020. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. A close ally of Taguig Representative Alan Peter Cayetano was ousted from his leadership post Wednesday, a day after majority of lawmakers voted to install Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco as the new Speaker of the House of Representatives. Camarines Sur Representative El Rey Villafuerte was removed as Deputy Speaker and was replaced by one Pacman Party List Representative Mikey Romero, an ally of the new Speaker. Villafuerte was one of the last few lawmakers who defended Cayetano until he was removed from the speakership. Following his removal, Villafuerte accused the new leadership of rejecting their offers of cooperation. Romero, on the other hand, had lost his deputy speaker post last Friday during the height of the leadership row upon the orders of Cayetano. Aside from Romero, another Velasco ally, Oriental Mindoro Representative Doy Leachon, will take over Davao City Representative Paulo Duterte's senior deputy speaker post. The Department of Labor and Employment is considering to provide subsidy to distressed employers to enable them to give out the mandatory 13th-month pay to their employees. Labor Undersecretary Benjo Benavides said among the strategy proposals discussed during the National Tripartite Council meeting with labor groups, employers group, and the government is the possibility of extending financial assistance to companies affected by the COVID-19 pandemic to enable them to comply with the 13-month pay law. He added that the government recognizes that several sectors are still not allowed to resume their business operations since most of the country, especially Metro Manila, is still under community quarantine against COVID-19's spread. Late last week, Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III floated the possibility of giving exemptions or deferring the payout of 13-month benefits amid the challenges brought by the pandemic on the economy. The proposal, however, was met with opposition from the labor sector as well as from lawmakers and the palace itself. And Malacanang said employers cannot defer the release of 13-month pay. The labor official also said that among the matters discussed during the dialogue was to define what is a distressed employer. Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Mark Villar on Wednesday announced that the Metro Manila Skyway Stage 3 linking northern and southern Luzon will be open to motorists before the year ends. During the Senate deliberation on the DPWH's proposed 666.47 billion budget for 2021, Villar said that they are now working on the safety asphalt and that they are working with their concessionaire San Miguel Corporation. The opening would happen in December at the latest, according to Villar. To recall, San Miguel Corporation announced that the 17.93-kilometer Skyway Stage 3 has been completed ahead of the original October 31 target. In using Skyway Stage 3, travel from SLEX to NLEX will now only take 20 minutes from around 3 hours previously. Magallanes to Balintawak will only take about 15 minutes. Balintawak to Ninoy Aquino International Airport will be only 15 minutes and Valenzuela to Makati in just 10 minutes. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
The Department of Health reported 1,910 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Wednesday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 346,536. The bulk of the newly reported infections were recorded in Metro Manila at 624, followed by Cavite with 219 new cases, Batangas with 104, Rizal with 91, and Negros Occidental with 63. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 293,860 after 579 patients recovered from the deadly disease, while the death toll is now at 6,449 with 78 fatalities recorded. The other 46,227 are active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, 84.5% of which are mild, 10.5% are asymptomatic, 1.6% are severe, and 3.3% are in critical condition. As of October 13, the Philippines had 147 licensed laboratories that had tested over 3.9 million individuals. 48% of COVID-19 intensive care unit beds nationwide were occupied, and 27% of mechanical ventilators are in use. Meantime, the Health Department on Wednesday explained that the government's one-seat-apart rule in public transportation is not a reduction of existing physical distancing protocols amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said that the measure wasn't eased by doing the one seat apart, and explained that it is only for the public's easier understanding of the distancing protocol. To recall, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque announced that the cabinet had approved the one seat apart rule for public vehicles during their Monday meeting with President Rodrigo Duterte. However, both Vergeres and Roque did not specify a measurement. The government received flack last month when it announced that it was easing physical distancing inside vehicles from 1 meter to 0.75 meters and to eventually 0.3 meters. But doctors opposed the decision, which resulted in the new guidelines being suspended at that time. While it is unclear if the one seat apart rule is still within the World Health Organization's guidelines of at least 1 meter distancing, Vergeres assured the public that the government will not implement something that will be detrimental to public health. She also reminded the public to wear masks and face shields inside public transportation and stressed that eating and talking are prohibited. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Wednesday announced that rains with gusty winds are expected to prevail over the Bicol region, Calabarzon, the Mindoro provinces, Marinduque, and Romblon due to Tropical Depression Ofel. In its 24-hour forecast, the weather agency warned affected residents of possible flash floods or landslides due to moderate to heavy rains, while strong winds may also cause very light to light damage to structures and vegetation. Ofel and the southwest monsoon may also bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over the Visayas, Mindanao, Metro Manila, Cagayan Valley, Cordillera Administrative Region, Central Luzon, and Palawan. Flash floods and landslides are possible due to light to moderate to, at times, heavy rains. At 3 p.m. on Wednesday, Ofel was estimated at 130 kilometers west of Huban, Sorsogon, with maximum sustained winds of 45 kilometers near the center and gustiness of up to 55 kilometers per hour. It is moving westward at 15 kilometers per hour. 11 areas were placed under tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 as Ofel made its third landfall in the vicinity of Burias Island, Masbate, while localized thunderstorms may bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers over the rest of Luzon. Sunrise is at 5:47 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:36 p.m. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
In business, the main equities index recovered Wednesday, but the peso weakened against the US dollar, still on worries on the possible coronavirus disease vaccine and the US stimulus program. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index rose by 0.03% or 2.07 points to 5,925.30 points, while the broader all shares increased by 0.31% or 10.95 points to 3,580.09 points. Most of the sectoral indices also finished the day's trade up, led by the financials 1.25%, while property jumped by 0.34%, mining and oil by 0.10%, and industrial 0.07%. Regina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Limlingan said that the PSEI ended flat once again as the efforts of some U.S. drug makers to come up with an effective vaccine and therapeutic medicines to the COVID-19 disease was halted. He also cited reports about the continued delay in the talks for the proposed stimulus measures in the U.S. and the latest growth forecast of the International Monetary Fund. Volume totaled 2.8 billion shares amounting to 5.97 billion pesos. Gainers led losers at 101 to 80, while 60 shares were unchanged. And the Philippine peso extended its losing streak against the dollar on Wednesday as hopes of a possible fiscal stimulus in the United States faded. The local currency lost 11.5 centavos to close at 48.65 pesos to a dollar versus Tuesday's finish of 48.535 pesos to a dollar. This came as U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi rejected the $1.7 trillion stimulus proposal from the White House, which she said falls significantly short of what this pandemic and deep recession demand. BDO Unibank Incorporation Chief Market Strategist Jonathan Ravelas meantime said that the incident, along with the upcoming U.S. elections in November, strengthened the greenback on Wednesday. Ravelas added that prospects for a fiscal stimulus in the U.S. before the elections dimmed, causing the greenback to rise. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for my shirt and jacket this evening. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget ang hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM Store, ma'am.
Call to deliver.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa, cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami mag-deliver.
Call to deliver. Call hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
That's it, never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app, now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing, you know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use, mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.